All right, here we are. What we at? It was week 13.
Strong intro. Yes.
Week 13.
Is it 13 or is it 14?
Yeah,
13, you're right.
It's week 2. The Dundee League fantasy. No,
The lost episode?
Yeah, the lost episode. No, it's week 13, folks. A lot of playoff implications this week on the line, as we said in the group chat. If you were privy to that, all of the big dogs won this week. I don't think there's any matchups on the line even right now, are there?
No, there's not.
Everything is decided.
So all the playoff teams won, unless Todd should get 30 points out of Matt Burita in the next 20 minutes, which I doubt since he's a third-string running back. I think we have it all locked up. The only one that was really at threat was Trish, if she would have got a big game out of Josh Allen, but the wind in Buffalo said hell no to that.
Hell no.
We literally just saw Josh Allen throw a 50-yard dime, but it moved around so much in the air that Stephon Diggs couldn't find it. And
it hit him in the elbow.
And it hit him in the elbow.
You can throw a 60-yard knuckleball.
Yeah, exactly. Moving around everywhere. Kickers having to have a guy hold the kickoff here, so that I'll tell you what the wind's like. But anyway.
The over-under on
Jesus.
this game.
Yeah, bet the under. I hope you bet the under.
No
Better,
kidding.
you know, hope you checked what the weather was if you're betting on this game. But anyhow, we got puppies everywhere. Got an eventful pod here. First one in the Meyer home here in Seaside. Quite eventful. Anyway, well.
Do you want to jump right into the match?
Jump right into it. I had myself a week. I'll tell you what.
It's the only week you've ever had.
You know, when you have a week like this, it's the only one you ever need. As Damian Harris is going nuts in this game. I think he's got 100 yards already. 100 yards.
Yeah, you put up 151. Definitely your highest point total of the year.
Second highest of anyone, I believe.
I'm certain that this is actually like twice the amount of points that you normally score.
Well, you know what
He wins.
Yeah.
You know what? We built our team to be consistent, and we've been nothing but.
Well, putting up 151 is not consistent.
151 is not consistent, but look at all these teams that are scoring under 75 points every week. That's why we've been winning.
You're right.
That's
real. Exactly right.
That's what you know what I'm saying. So I don't have down weeks.
I don't think you know what we're saying.
I don't have down weeks. I have solidly mediocre weeks.
As
every
do I,
week.
and you have 4 more wins than me. That's my point.
Again,
not bitter at all.
Fantasy chosen one.
You're gonna go out in the very first playoff game.
You know,
man, I would have normally be on your side, but I think you need to be humbled, sir.
I don't think there's room for any humbleness when you score 150 points.
I know you don't feel that way, which is why I feel like you need to feel that way.
And you blow your spouse out of the water.
Don't say blow your spouse on a podcast.
Hey. Well, in this direction it works, all right? If it was coming from her, it'd be a little odd, but, you know, for me, it works out. So we're going to go back to we blew our spouse out of the water. Risky, right? Just going right back for it. Double tap.
Here's a callback.
Double
you marry your cousin?
No, just fucked him.
Nice.
I just blew him. Out of the water. No big deal.
Hey, you gotta let me finish the sentence. Yeah, but... You know, so at the same time, ending her magnificent latter half of the season run.
And playoff hopes.
Torpedoing the ship that was Team America. Right to the face with 150 points.
Well, my team really just didn't show up this week. That's what I have to say about
There's a whole lot of people in the playoffs that are going to be really happy to not see Erica's team there.
Yeah.
I'm actually one of them.
Including me.
I think that there was just you know, everybody together was praying and hoping that I wouldn't get in.
You just didn't have.
So I blame it on you all.
You just needed 1 or 2 more wins earlier in the season, and you would have had it, and then we would have all been in trouble. But alas, not to be. Maybe next year.
Next year.
And hopefully,
watch out.
You'll be the winner of the losers bracket. You
Hopefully
can be.
I'm not Sacco again.
You can still be the Sacco at this point.
I
It's
know.
true. Everything's possible.
It would take a dark turn, but you got to lose the next 3 straight. For
Well,
that would be rough.
My team is suddenly unhealthy, so.
Well, Damian Harris looked pretty good tonight, so I think he's going to be solid for you. But, yeah, anyway, so like I said, all of the 6 playoff teams won, so that pretty much decides it. I believe Mr. OG Taylor and myself have the first round buys. It looks like Cody, I believe, mentioned he's playing Bailey in the first round next week.
Yeah, we'll have to look at some point things, but I think everything's going to stay the same.
You are correct. I did verify that. There was only a difference between the three of you of like 8 points, which is not enough to sway anything. So the matchups that you see on the projections now will hold. So it will be Alan, Taylor, and Patrick with the first round bye. Cody facing off against Bailey. Jake Strozzi against the other Alan. Whoever the lowest seed of those four that wins next week will play Alan Taylor the following week.
So Alan is the number 1 seed. I am the number 2. So yes, whoever is the higher or the lower seed will play Alan, and whoever's the higher will play me next week. It seems we may have some voting to do at the draft next year about how we decide the points leader, but we will just follow as we have last year. It'll be the point leader. I think we came to a kind of a conclusion that that's what will work this year. So the point leader at the end of this week, when it's all tallied up, go in and see who the leader is. It looks at this point like it's going to be Mr. OG Taylor. 2 years in a row, racking up the jersey count here. It'll be interesting to see who he picks. Last year, his second pick was DK Metcalf. I don't know if you want to be rocking that jersey around the way Metcalf's been playing lately, but that will be.
Fault, though. That offense is broken.
That puppy's squealing over here. It's normal. She's a little scaredy cat when you squeeze her too much or whatever. So let's run that one back. We got a little soundboard action.
That play's dead. It's not over.
Yeah, week 13, but not too late for a little soundboard action here. We like it.
Better late than never.
Exactly.
Things to look forward to next season.
Yep, we're growing here at the Dundee League podcast, folks. Should we jump into some matchups?
Yeah, let's go back into yours, man. Tell me about your high performance.
Let's dive into the second highest point total of the year.
Get it over with.
And what a week we had. Can I say, not even in my parents were in town. We didn't even get to prepare like we like to do, and it doesn't matter. We have such a good team. We just set it and forget it. It's autopilot over here for the dumpster fire. We're giving the Chicago Dumpsters a good name. I gotta say, it's
How does
the
that
only.
feel as a Packer fan?
Hey, you know what? If I'm bringing a good name to the Chicago shit pile, that's a good thing to bring to you, because you want to know what? Chicago is a shit pile, and I want to bring attention to it by winning a championship under the name.
Putting that name on a trophy.
Well, I put that name on a trophy so everybody knows what a shitty town Chicago is.
Get fucked, Dave.
Come right at you, Dave.
You put 150 on the board with the week that Christian McCaffrey gets ruled out.
Yep,
for the rest
and
of
see,
the season.
again, the fantasy gods smile upon me.
You have sucked
They're
some fantasy
laughing
god
behind your
cock.
back,
Yeah,
okay?
this
Because
year.
they're setting you up for a heartbreak.
They may be, but you know what? So far, we're riding to Valhalla with the fantasy gods
You only get the Valhalla if you die.
in battle gloriously.
How many mythologies do you want to mix into this?
Just
The bad
keep it rolling.
analogy, sir.
It wasn't good. That was bad content.
Hey, on the fly, man.
We lost 13% of our listeners on that comment.
Including your mom.
We fly by the seat.
Your mom.
Yes, my mom. It was revealed this last week, an avid listener of the Dundee League podcast.
Hey, shout out to Patrick's mom.
Shout out to Kate Meyer, an angel and a saint.
Hey, mom.
Anyway, so to break down my team first, then we'll go into Erica and we'll have her chime in. But Kyler Murray, welcome back, sir. What a week. Not exactly the most passing yards you've ever seen, but 2 running touchdowns and a couple in the air will get you there.
Yeah, he's a touchdown machine.
Absolutely, and he's running and he's healthy, and we like it headed into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be good for you.
Yep.
And Justin Jefferson.
It's going to be really good watching you lose that first playoff matchup with him as your quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be fun
hope it's me.
when
I hope it's
I beat you
I hope
and
it's
then
me.
just dive
I hope
right
it's me.
into that final with a
Yeah, I
head of
hope it's
steam.
me.
Cody, you think
You
you're
know?
pulling out of the first round of the playoffs?
I think Bailey has a better chance. My team's rough ever since the Derrick Henry go down. This is my first win in a 5-week span.
Ooh.
I gotta say, I'm surprised you didn't make some moves there, man. I didn't know what you probably tried.
Listen, them trades were out there.
Yeah.
There were some buttons pressed.
Nobody biting, huh?
Nobody coming with it.
Well,
Send me one.
couldn't get a running back out of you.
That's accurate.
He's complaining.
I looked at your roster. There's no business there.
Yeah, I didn't have much.
I also didn't send one to Trish. She's starting Zach Moss. Like, what do you want? Where do I go with that?
Yeah, and you were good at wide receiver. It's got to feel good to get Hopkins back. I don't know if he had a big week this week.
He's not back. They have been.
He played, didn't he?
Yes, he played, and they threw the ball to him 3 times, and he caught 2 of them, and 1 for a touchdown.
There you go.
But what I'm saying is they have kept him on such a pitch count this entire season that they're already looking to the playoffs. They are bringing him in like, hey, look, see what you can do when you actually play, and then they put him back on the sideline. He doesn't play.
Yeah, and you can't rely on that in the fantasy playoffs because
No.
he could go in and he could get 3 targets and catch none of them.
Yeah.
And then you're goose and you're screwed.
He's unguardable, but his hamstring has bothered him all year long, and they don't care about the regular season. Their team is good enough, and they're like, dude, why don't you just take it easy?
They're already in.
Yeah.
I mean,
so go show us that you can do it every week, and he does it once, and then okay.
Yeah.
So that's where it's
well, in real football, that's smart, but you don't like that for your fantasy team.
No, you don't. Especially for your second round draft pick.
Yeah, exactly.
That's tough.
It is rough. But to dive back in here, we get Miles Sanders putting up some yards against the Jets. Every running back in the world at any given team every week puts up yards against the Jets. I think Kenneth Gainwell had 15 points against the Jets as well. Anytime you play the Jets, you could start the starting running back, the backup running back. You might be able to start the third string running back. That's how bad that run defense is.
Don't tell that to
the fullback.
Don't tell that to Todd because he started was it Barton Scott? No, Boston Scott against the Jets, and he had 0-0-0.
I think Boston Scott got banged up though, didn't he?
I don't know. He's got literally no points.
Well,
he did not record a stat.
All the work went to Miles, and then Kenneth Gainwell was in on the passing downs.
Well, that definitely gave me an avenue to easy victory. Thank you, Todd.
Yeah, I mean, we get a goose. It's rough, but
it's like he's playing Patrick this week.
Yeah, I know. Except it's just,
no, he would be. He had 86 points.
I end up winning every week. It's like it's almost like my team just intimidates everyone. They just don't show up. It's like I don't know what it is. I just keep winning. It's hard to deal with, but I know. But anyway, so Miles takes 14 points there, no touchdowns, a lot of yards. Hello, Javonte. Melvin, you had a good year. Take a break, rest the hip, save yourself, be healthy, go get your contract, get paid. You can just sit out the last 5 weeks.
No, Gordon's gonna
let's just unleash Javonte because it looks pretty.
You got him in a trade from Allen, correct?
I did get him in a trade from Allen.
Allen has been holding on to him all year, saying he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy. And then he shipped him out just in time for him to be the guy.
But you know what? That trade might have been the fairest trade of all year. Because I got Kyler and Javonte. He got Godwin and Gibson. All 4 of those players are performing right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Those are the 2 squads that have buys next week. So I guess whatever they're doing is just fine.
Yeah, I mean, and it pisses me off that I sat there and held on to Gibson when he's getting J.D. McKissick and his shin's not working right, and then he goes into the bye, comes out as one good week, and I'm like, this is my opportunity, ship him off. The next thing you know, J.D. McKissick might be headed for IR. He's got a bad concussion, and he potentially has a neck injury as well. So he might be gone for a minute. If it's Antonio Gibson back there and they're going to throw him the ball as well, Gibson is going to be an RB1 the rest of the way.
Washington's hot. They got momentum.
Exactly. And they've been winning games, giving the ball to Gibson, and Ron Rivera is not a bad coach. So if you ask me, it's probably going to be a little bit more of the same from them. But we'll see what happens if McKissick does make his way back. But anyway, Javonte by himself in a backfield is an RB1. That man is a beast. He's so hard to bring down one-on-one.
Any single running back in a Denver Bronco uniform is just fantastic to have.
Well, when you got Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback, he ain't winning the game. So you have to put the game. You have to give enough carries to your running back to free up. To bring 8 guys into the box so Teddy's got room to throw the ball. Because he ain't that type of quarterback who's going to throw, you know what I mean? He's a solid game manager, but he's not a guy who's going to win the game single-handedly,
You're not slinging it.
Deontay Johnson is the only guy other than Najee you want in Pittsburgh these days. I mean, just targets on targets. And the one I actually bet on him a little bit in DFS because Baltimore lost Marlon Humphrey in that game, which I didn't know beforehand, obviously. But Baltimore has given up the most plays of any secondary of over 20 yards in the NFL. They give up big plays left and right. They're not the Baltimore defense of old. They give up so many big plays. And I figured 10 targets, Deontay's going to bust one of them. And he did.
Yeah, you got 2 touchdowns and 105 yards.
Yeah. And then we go to the creme de la creme lately. The wide receiver one most likely over the last 4 weeks. Because he's had 3 out of the last 4 weeks. I think he went over 150 yards. Justin Jefferson.
3 out of the last 4, that's correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
double-digit targets in all of them.
And Adam Thielen got hurt. So it's Justin Jefferson's season in the playoffs, baby, and I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I'm happy Jefferson had a good day because the rest of the Lions organization is in shambles.
Yeah.
That was
the Vikings, you mean?
Sorry, yes, the Vikings.
Because they lost to the Lions on a last-second touchdown play.
11 yards out, just what are you doing? What are you doing?
You should all be on the goal line and 2 guys deep in the corners.
Man press.
Yeah.
Get in their face.
Yeah.
11 yards. Come on.
Put the whole team in the end zone.
Yeah.
Don't even rush.
No.
Put the whole team in the end zone.
Didn't work out.
Yeah, no. I mean, rush 2.
Against the worst team in the league.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, it's unfortunately, I think Mike Zimmer is a good coach.
You gone.
He's probably losing his job.
Absolutely.
That's a loss that'll lose you your job.
And man, some of the plays that I still see Kirk Cousins making. That guy, as good as they want to say that his stats have been this year, if you look at pivotal moments, the guy's a bonehead.
He's just such an up and down quarterback. He'll show up in a game where you don't expect. He showed up against the Packers, won the game, had a huge game, gets one of the best teams in the NFL, and then he'll go against a team that hasn't won a game all year and play like shit. Luckily, he can get the ball to Jefferson. Though.
Not reliable to get paid all that money.
And it's not like he didn't have a running game. Madison came in and it basically was a 1-for-1 replacement. He had a Dalvin Cook game, and so you got to put that on Cousins, not being able to pull through.
I think a lot of that. I think a lot of where their franchise is going to be able to go is based on the fact that they decided to pay Kirk Cousins $30 million.
Remember when Case Keenum took into the playoffs and they said, no, we like Kirk Cousins better?
What the fuck was that?
Dude,
Case
I was
Keenum is
feeling
just as
Case
good.
Keenum in Minnesota.
I still feel Case Keenum. He came in one game this year and did fine.
For Cleveland, did great. Made the case.
He didn't win the game for them. He managed the game, and then Dearness Johnson won the game for them.
He just got another dub.
Yeah, which is what he does. He wins games. Here we go. Nick Folk with another field goal.
Dude, the win don't matter to that man. Do you see that sidewinder? He's like, I don't care.
Big leg, that man. But anyway, Mark Andrews was the only guy you wanted in Baltimore. That was an ugly game between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. The only down point for Mark Andrews was dropped the game-winning 2-point conversion. Bobbled it, dropped it.
What a fucking loser.
I guess, man. But, solid tight end as tight ends go there. Jalen Waddle gets just all the targets these days. He's basically a much more explosive Cole Beasley or Hunter Renfrow.
You think so?
Is essentially how they treat him in Miami.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working. He gets over 7 targets a game every game.
It seemed to take them halfway through the season to figure out who they are, but the Dolphins ain't bad.
They are not. That defense is playing some fucking ball lately.
Yeah, I want to watch the Dolphins play like I've never wanted to watch the Dolphins play in 6, 7 years.
They're fun to watch because they make plays on defense, and you know what? Tua actually set the record for most games in a row for over 80% passer completion. And I know these are stupid stat records that don't matter.
Yeah, that's something to talk about though.
Well, he's been playing well.
Yeah. Last time Eli Manning did that, he won Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. The one. Did he win 2? He won 2.
He won 2. He won on 2 bizarrely talented runs. And was never really that guy, but he was that guy for 7 games in a row.
Their team would suck all year, and then they would hit a 6-game stretch where they were unbeatable.
Well, the year they beat the almost undefeated Patriots, they were 9-7 in the regular season.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then Michael Strahan and JPP are like, oh yeah, we're athletic behemoths.
And
Good luck stopping
that
us
was a
now.
10-fingered JPP, so like that was way better.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, he wouldn't have been there till 2011. 2007 would have been Justin Tuck and Michael Strahan.
Oh, yeah. Tuck was a beast, too, man. When you fucking huge.
He was mean looking.
Oh, man.
I didn't like him.
You know what? You know who the most mean-looking defensive end was, though, in his prime? James Harrison.
I was going to say John Randall.
Yes. James, you remember how big James Harrison was in his upper body?
I don't consider him as a defensive end. He did get after the quarterback quite a bit, but that 3-4 scheme that he ran.
He was an outside linebacker.
Yeah, he stood up a lot. I mean, his upper body was something, but dude, I think the real story there is that dude's quads and hammies. He was shaped in a way that looked fake.
He could launch off the ground with those fucking ham thighs into somebody's chest like nobody else.
Not to go too far into man love here, but seeing that dude in a picture after working out looks like a fucking superhero, dude. I've never seen somebody built like that. It's ridiculous. You got to turn the computer up.
Okay.
Yeah, let's hit it. Let's see what you got here.
Good. It's really good.
Beautiful, fitting. Anyway, Philly defense, not the trouncing that I expected, not the touchdown from Mr. Slay that I wanted. And then Puppy is biting cords here. Speaking of gay, Mr. Matt Gay hit me with 15 points there at the kicker position.
Yeah,
like
100%. 7 kicks. That's not a bad day.
Just a beastie performance. And on the bench, second touchdown, tying for the 10th most all time with Hall of Famer Jim Brown. Mr. Peterson
feels
gets
good
in
to have
the end
him on
zone.
your bench making those kind of
it's
milestone
fun.
moments.
Yeah, but did you see how slowly he scored that touchdown?
He looked real stiff.
It was like a quarterback doing a naked bootleg when there's nobody there and you can walk in.
He wasn't that slow.
It was a stretch, and it was him, and he went to the corner, and he kind of waited for one block, and then when he got it, he went to the cone, but he didn't. I just. The way he used to run.
I gotta see it right now.
Oh, yeah, it was 40% speed. It was something.
He was super stiff. I didn't think he was that slow, but he did not look like...
He did look stiff, you're right.
Yeah,
very
stiff.
He wasn't bouncing. He was...
No. It wasn't a fluid stride.
It was a labored run.
Yeah.
And it was a 3-yard stretch play for the corner.
Yeah. Stop.
On the other side of the aisle, though, Erica's team.
My team.
With a chance to make the playoffs,
What do you got
seal that number 6 spot, not just loses, but falls.
Real bad.
Falls flat.
Yeah.
What do you got to say, Erica?
Chubb was on bye, and I didn't realize that. And I was like, well, I at least have that Jamal Williams that I traded for with Allen, which
he did fine.
He ended up being a good trade.
You know?
But... didn't perform as well as I needed him to. And Zeke is, hurt and not getting as much action. And Dak
put up kind of a stinker.
Yeah.
Not the Dak game you want.
Harris
11
actually
points.
did good, and
Yep.
My Dolphins pickup was not a bad pickup either.
Dolphins defense has been great so far. Like in the stretch run here in the second half for sure.
Damian Harris got 17 points for you. Got
111
yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Diggs would have had 11 more points if he would have caught that pass.
I know.
And he would have only lost by 60.
Well.
Yeah. Hey, you only need. Hey, listen. You're still in it. There's 10 minutes left, and you only need 80 points.
What a piece of
I
shit.
think I can do it.
I think you can make it. Come on.
If Damian Harris
Never
just
give
ran
up.
for 400 yards and like 4 touchdowns in this fourth quarter, you can do it.
Hey, it's Jimmy V month. Never give up. Don't ever give up.
Well done. Well
See,
done.
that's a proof. Yeah. Okay. All right.
That's one of the best things you've ever said.
We made it. It only took 13 weeks, and we had
You finally refined your comedy.
Yep, I made it.
You made fun of cancer.
There you go. Hey, cancer's always funny, right? People dying of horrible diseases. It's fantastic. That's what we like to laugh at. See, I got to laugh from the whole room.
Leave it.
Anyway.
And just like Jimmy, Erica's playoff hopes are also dead.
Yes. Who do I play next week?
Lowbrow Jimmy V joke.
We love Jimmy V. We're just making comedy, folks.
Don't
judge
us.
us. Well, he's dead.
Nothing now.
That's what he does. He does being a symbol to get people to donate money to cancer.
They've been using that speech for years.
It's a good speech.
It's a really good
it's
speech.
Great speech.
Every time I hear it, I get a little teared
It's a
up.
good speech.
Me too. It's a good speech.
speech.
What are you gonna do? It's Jim Valvano, eh? He's Italian, right?
No wonder they said V.
Anyway, yeah, if they knew he was Italian, nobody would donate. Let's be real. Anyway, it's not a good. Yeah. Anyway, I could go for another joke there, but I think we dipped too far.
Yeah. I think
dipped too far in that call.
I think that rag has been saturated.
Yes, it has, sir. Anyway, Stephon Diggs, rough game. It's a win game right here. I'll cover for Erica. She's watching the pup for us. Marquise Brown, not a great game for the Baltimore, like we mentioned. It's a down game for all their pass catchers. Rashad Bateman did nothing. The two that did anything were Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown. They only had 5 points each.
Sorry, I've been looking at this, like where Erica's going to then end up in the consolation ladder.
Who am I playing?
Now,
you're the top seed.
Right now, it's got you locked up against Mr. Wilson, but is that going to change at all?
Could, depending on points. She's still got points she's scoring.
Well, every one of these teams is going to lose because everyone in the other bracket's going to win. So I don't think it is going to change, and I think you two get to face off to see who guarantees that they don't get the Sacco.
Yeah.
Because if you win that first game,
you're good.
Then
you
you're
go
fine.
you go into the other branch. And you're good. That's a horse collar right there.
Oh man, you guys got a really important game coming up next week against each other.
That's a bad horse collar too. That was on purpose. That's about as bad as you can get with it.
Did they?
Yeah.
They
they flagged him.
Okay.
Yep. Buffalo here, 14-10 here in the fourth quarter, folks. Just so you can.
Josh Allen's gonna run this.
No,
Like
probably.
that. That's got to be the play call, right? Power O left with your quarterback. Just do it.
I think we're running an RPO. We're running a run pass option here. Look. Oh, and he handed it off. Going nowhere. Got 2 yards maybe. Nothing. Anyway, so Higbee was not part of the scoring onslaught that the Rams put on the Jacksonville. Everybody scored a touchdown but Higbee. Van Jefferson scored. OBJ scored.
And we all knew
Sony
the Rams
Michel
were
scored.
Tear apart the Jaguars.
Of course.
They
the
needed
last
to.
few weeks they had. Yeah, they needed
The last month.
I hope everyone tears apart the Jaguars because I want to see Trevor Lawrence with a real coach. Okay? Because he's a generational talent and he's being ruined.
Okay.
He's being
Ruined by the talentless Urban Meyer.
Exactly.
Interesting.
He's being Sam Darnolded.
Ooh.
That's what's happening.
Are you gonna give him the old Adam Gase treatment?
At this point,
Adam Gase and Urban Meyer, same guy.
Listen, look at the talent that they have at wide receiver on that team, and look at who's getting targets. Where are the targets to Marvin Jones? Where are the targets to LaVisca? Okay, they were throwing the ball to Jamal Agnew before he tore his ACL. Okay, they're throwing the ball to Dan the Postman Arnold and Laquan Treadwell now. Who the fuck is Laquan Treadwell? He's a fourth-string wide receiver from Minnesota. The only reason I know that.
He's got some size.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
He's got some size.
he's got a good brand name if he was selling spinning rims. You know, but like, you know what I'm saying? But like,
kind of.
I don't know what you're saying. I need to know more about
Vaguely know what you're saying.
You
I
know,
need to know more about these rims.
you know, Sprewell, he was a basketball player with the Dreads back in the day. He invented spinning rims.
Did he?
And so Treadwell, Sprewell, you know, it was a deep cut, you know, but we went there.
Maybe.
There you go.
That's for you, Patrick.
Nice.
Maybe we can
Make
put
it feel
that on the bonus features, like DVD box set.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cut that from the
It'll be
original.
trivia. Oh, that's a sack. That was definitely he got touched.
By his own lineman.
Yeah, his own
I
lineman
see.
gave him the old Mortal Kombat leg
The
sweep.
old hip bump.
All right, well, we are half an hour in. We've only covered one match.
All right,
so
so
let's,
we'll move on. Damian Harris having a good game. Miami had a decent game on defense. Robbie Gould, 7 points a kicker. Erica made the wrong call at quarterback, but you're never going to play Kirk Cousins over Dak.
Nope.
And unfortunately, Kirk had a better game, even though they lost to the Lions. And that's pretty much a wrap for that lineup.
Yeah.
So
let's jump into the other first round bye then.
All right.
Mr. Taylor wrapping it up. Not only did all the top people win, but they all did it with triple digits, unless I'm mistaken. Well, I guess with the exception of the other Allen. Everybody putting up good showings this week.
Some more than others. Some 150. Some, so not everybody can be that good, but it is what it is. It's okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Nice. Well, I'll let you guys. Why don't you guys cover out because I just talked.
Jonathan Taylor touchdown. The man does it again. The running back won on the year with Derrick Henry no longer an option.
Just a monster, that guy.
Yeah, the guy puts up so many points.
Love to see him repping Wisconsin well.
I'm just gonna read the points since week 4 in order: 17, 29, 28, 15, 18, 32, 19. 50.
That's ridiculous.
16 and 24 in consecutive weeks.
No week under 15?
Not in that stretch.
8 in a row?
He started the year with 12,
Good
5,
Lord.
and 7, and then went on that tear for the rest of the year.
It's gross.
And that's not even adding his not all of it's even on the ground. There's one game where he had 116 through the air, too.
That's
so
good.
He pushed that to the right.
That's
still
insane.
10 foot.
Did he make it? He missed it?
He missed it.
Oh, man.
Man, Buffalo trying to piss this thing away.
Yeah, I want Buffalo to beat New England, but you know what? New England is just
Fuck New England.
playing good defense here. But, Tua, we mentioned before, like I said, 80% completion rate lately. Just been super accurate, been winning games for them. They're playing the Giants, so you'd expect Miami to win that game. And playing the Giants with Mike Glennon at quarterback. Yeah. Not even Danny Dimes, who sometimes can have a game. Mike Glennon is not capable of having a game.
Career backup, and not even a good one.
No, one of the worst ones in the league, probably.
He's the one when your quarterback goes down, you go, fuck.
We're definitely losing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like Jordan Love.
I like
kind of like Jordan Love, kind of like the Cowboys situation last year.
Yeah, not this year, though. Cooper rushed to your aid. The man himself coming in and winning games that you shouldn't have won.
The Lions also beat the Vikings, so let's pump those brakes.
That's fair. They got a terrible defense in Minnesota this year. Anyhow, we have the other one we had there is Chris Godwin doing it all. Heard a stat here. That was the most receptions by any wide receiver in a game this year. 15.
Really?
Set the bar, Mr. Godwin.
How many targets did he have? Let's see. 17. So we count almost every one.
Godwin and Brady in the last 2 years against Atlanta are about the surest bet you can make. Tom Brady, like I said in the chat, has thrown almost 20 touchdowns in 4 games. Against Atlanta in the last 4 games that he's played.
That's disgusting.
He averages like 5 touchdowns a game against Atlanta.
Well, because then look down 2 on that roster. Not just Godwin, but Gronkowski pulling in 2 touchdowns and 4 catches.
No, they just. Granted, Atlanta's been bad the last 2 years, but Tom Brady just loves playing Atlanta.
Yeah.
So he tears them up. They got nothing for him.
The Falcons are trash. I saw that game and cool, they beat them. But the Cowboys beat the Falcons by 40 points.
Yeah, the Falcons are they're bad.
And then the next week, I think the Patriots beat them the same way.
I think you're right.
Yeah, just annihilated.
The Falcons are the worst team besides the Lions. And that's because the Lions hold a special place in the league as always being the worst.
Always being the worst, I'm not even going to make an argument for the Lions and say that they have some good young talent and they have a decent coach that can inspire a team to come together. Because they got to show me a 5-win year before I even can make an argument.
I think they actually have to be represented by a different city before I will consider that. Yeah.
Cody's has been on the train of moving out of Detroit for.
It worked out really well for the Ravens.
Why would you want to push another city like that?
It worked out well for the Ravens.
Well, look at the way Austin's booming. Get a 3rd team in Texas. It's a big market.
Absolutely.
It's a big market. Lions, Texas. Look at all the big cats in Texas. It's a fit. More big cats in Texas.
There's already
in
one
captivity
bad team in Texas, okay?
There is a really bad team in Texas.
Well, let's get 2 bad teams in Texas so you guys can shine even brighter.
We're not even in the same conference as the other one, so that doesn't do much for our hopes.
Yeah, but the Lions would be in the NFC.
It's true. I would like to see an NFC North team represented in Southern Texas.
That'd be great. Yeah. They start getting all warm weather and soft and stuff. Then you send them up to Green Bay in November.
I mean, to be fair,
fantastic.
Detroit's closer to New York and Philly than fucking Dallas is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're in the East.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. How are you in the NFC East? Everybody's up there in the Northeast, and you're in fucking Texas.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, so not every team makes sense where they are.
No.
It's just some of them are misfits based on the market.
But the matchups I do like. I do like the matchups.
Well, you guys have had a real easy conference in recent years, It's
in recent years, yeah, but I mean nothing like the AFC East.
Yeah.
Nothing like
well,
that.
Well, the AFC East in recent years, like last year, the AFC East was tough.
Well,
we had Miami and New England.
Yeah, the last 2 years it's been a different story since Tom Brady's been gone.
Yeah.
Which weird timing on that one, huh? It's like, my division is going to give me 6 free wins every year. Let's go to Tampa.
Where now my division also is going to give
Drew Brees is going to retire, Matt Ryan needs to retire, and they don't have a quarterback in Carolina. Yeah, crazy.
Wild.
Crazy.
Yeah, and
almost like his agent knows what's up.
And no state tax. Interesting. Oh.
That's a solid
move. That division.
That's a solid move by Mr. Brady.
That division's so bad. I think that Tom Brady's record against the Buffalo Bills all-time regular season is 32-3.
Wow.
His record against the Dolphins, 24-12, not quite as good.
He has a problem against the Dolphins. Dolphins used to beat him in Miami all the time.
And he still wins 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
And then his record against the Jets is 30-8. That man has just walked through that conference, through that division. His entire career.
I mean, he's walked through almost everybody's entire career because they had just great teams, great defense, solid offense, good coach, But anyway, we love to hate New England, but they had, look how many great players they had over the years.
So anyway, Allen beat the shit out of Trish.
Yep, basically. And Alexander Madison, like we were saying, filled in admirably. 4 interceptions for Arizona offset the points they allowed. McPherson, 5 points there. Should have played Nick Folk. What a dumbass. Anyway. Gibson, you got to get him in your lineup, Alan. Not that, you would have played him.
Alan really likes benching Washington playmakers.
Yeah, he does.
Apparently, he traded McLaurin, though. He doesn't even got him anymore, does he?
Yeah. No, he does not, because he put him on the bench for 3 weeks and then he shipped him out.
For Trish, you got Josh Allen in the win game. He ain't going to do what Josh Allen's capable of because they can't complete. That's definitely
it is? Oh, shit!
Steph Diggs.
So who's Trish going to be playing in the playoffs next week, then?
I'm not sure.
I got this. In the playoffs...
She got a touchdown out of Beckham.
She's got her main Todd.
Oh, she's playing Todd?
Yeah, because those are the 2 bottom tiers. Both of those 2. That means both of those 2 have an opportunity.
One of them is going to be on the road to the Sacco after next week.
Because that matchup, the 10-11, I'm sorry, the 11-12 in that loser ladder, this is the most irrelevant game of the year.
Because whoever wins that one, if they lose the following week, they're right back in the Sacco.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Which they're both capable of losing.
So if you're in
saying,
that top box of the consolation bracket, you have to lose out to get the Sacco. If you're in the bottom one, you need to win 2. And if you're in the middle one...
You don't need to win 2, you need to win the second one.
That's true. There's a couple ways it could go.
My question is strategically for Trish. I love Todd and Trish. So this isn't going at anybody. This is Mr. Nice Pat. Because
he's about to go at somebody. He's about to go at somebody.
Strap in.
Yeah, they strap. Put on seatbelts, folks. No, it's not going to be that bad. But what I'm saying is, I got the first round bye, so we're feeling nice this week. All I got to say is, bring out your villain mask, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, we got Trish here. She had a prime opportunity when OBJ was traded to the Rams to sell him at a through-the-roof price.
She did.
And I don't understand why she didn't do it.
Yeah.
That's something looking back strategically. You have the price that he would have demanded. It would
better than the value that he actually has.
Exactly.
And somebody would have given it to him.
That's when you trade those
name
guys.
Is Alan Taylor.
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what I told.
She would have got running backs from Allen if she would have put OBJ up on it.
You have to know your league mates. I literally said
that a few weeks ago. Maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know that that's a story. But
I don't
think
know.
It's possible.
I literally said to Erica, I'm like, she's gonna trade him to Allen because Allen likes OBJ. That's what I thought was gonna happen, and he was after him, and so was I because I was high on OBJ moving to that offense. And he's been okay.
And
I'm glad I didn't trade for him.
I think his numbers are definitely more valuable than they used to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's in a much better situation.
Absolutely.
And I think next year, if he heals up some of his shoulder injuries, because that man's dealing with 2 partially torn shoulders right now.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he stayed in LA, I think him and Matt Stafford could have a lot of fun together.
Yes.
Yeah.
That offense, imagine if they keep Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and OBJ. That's a deadly offense right there.
I think Robert Woods is the man left alone.
He's probably getting traded.
Yeah,
He's probably getting moved.
I think he is.
But do you think they keep OBJ? He's on a 1-year deal.
No, I don't think the likelihood that's good. I think he's going to try to get paid somewhere, and
Yeah.
it's not going to matter if they're a contender or not. Even though he did that exactly in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I honestly, when it comes down to money, I just think he's going to go somewhere and get paid, and it's not going to matter much.
Do you think he's made enough money and he likes being in LA because of the attention enough that he might take a little bit less money to stay in LA?
He might, but I feel like he's going to end up on a team like Baltimore.
Baltimore could really use him.
Yeah,
He'd
but
be a
I
good player in
don't
Baltimore.
think his talent is going to come across as good in a place like Baltimore.
I think him and
I'm
Lamar.
sorry,
I think him and
Baltimore.
Lamar would get along well.
Yeah,
I think as players, like I think they would like each other.
I do too.
Yeah, they're
So-
both flashy individuals.
Yeah.
It's true. Is OBJ blocking downfield?
No.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, but is Marquise Brown?
Is he? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, some
So-
of those hotshot receivers can learn some humility when it's forced upon them. So
Yeah.
They need to take after Keenan Allen, man.
I am
Star
interested.
receiver who goes out there and will block and do everything that he needs
a lot
to
of
do.
people
to win the game.
can try to take after Keenan Allen,
Yeah.
but Keenan Allen's one of a kind.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to see where OBJ ends up just because I think he's super talented, and now that he's not a giant, I don't hate him.
He's fun to watch.
He is.
No matter whether you like him or not, he's just such an uber talented athlete that
It's
he's just
true.
fun to watch. And
It's
so,
I like the drama. I do. I'm a wide receiver guy. Like,
Yeah.
give me the weird ones, man.
well, it's sometimes in the NFL it's better to be colorful than good. Sometimes you get paid more because of that.
It's absolutely true.
You
And
know?
I wish more of them would realize that, because all this, like, I'd like to thank my teammates and the coaches for the win today nonsense.
All
It's
this,
gotta go.
all this Hunter. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Hunter Renfrow, suck my dick. I don't give a shit about Hunter Renfrow.
All this half balding, grab my lunch pail and
Yeah,
go
like,
to work
I'm gonna
shit.
show up to
Who
work
cares
and
about
do my
that?
job. It's the next man up. I don't give a fuck about any of that.
I don't want to see somebody that reminds me of my male pattern baldness.
No,
all right?
absolutely not.
That's what I don't want.
I don't want to see any man that reminds me of Patrick's male pattern.
That's right. I want to see a full head of puffy dyed hair and nothing else
Yes,
on my wide
absolutely.
receiver.
Yeah.
I want to see nose rings. I want to see chains.
I want to see a single
I wanna
left
see all that
earring
shit.
that dangles down like 3
That's
inches.
right. I want to see somebody throwing their helmet after not getting targeted for one drive.
Absolutely. I want someone to like threaten beating up a third string punter.
That's right.
Because they looked at him dirty after like a third down
That's
drive.
right. I want to see somebody run into the middle of the Dallas Star trying to plant the flag and then getting annihilated.
That's
for it.
exactly what I want.
That's what I want.
That's what I want. That's what I want out of my football. I love T.O. Yes, did he disrespect that star? Yes. But did he represent it well when it was on his helmet? Also,
Did we
yes.
instantly
he did.
forget about
Yes,
it when
he
he put
did.
that star on there?
It took a
Yep.
touchdown. It took a touchdown, but I forgot
Yeah.
real quick.
Took that fucking physical behemoth just owning the cornerbacks on the other team.
No,
That's my
absolutely.
quarterback.
George Teague, this is
Start
shout
crying
out to
over
you.
Tony Romo.
That's
thank
my
you.
quarterback.
Yeah. Anyway, so Trish team just came up short. I thought she actually had a chance there for a minute when she started roaring back when her team. The interesting
She had
thing
a
about
stretch.
this matchup I mentioned in the chat was that I'd never seen a team in fantasy football have all their players on the field at the same time.
In the first round,
Yeah.
every single one.
Yeah, and there was moments where you would jump in and his whole side
Was
would
in the
be,
red zone.
Yeah,
I loaded this thing up one time on Sunday and I saw 6 players in red. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no.
that's some points coming. Yeah,
Jeez. And they came.
yeah, it came hard.
Nice.
Anyway, Brandon Cooks, when your team scores 0 points and your lead quarterback goes out and General Davis Mills comes in, it's gonna be a rough day.
General Davis.
It's gonna be okay. Can't take credit for that. That was a fantasy footballer's reference, but it's a great nickname, and we're just furthering it.
Well done, well done.
Yeah.
I knew you didn't make that up.
Of course. Come on, now. I don't have that kind of thought
Why? Because
power.
you laughed?
Hey, I made one solid joke, and I can't even recall what it is at this point.
Luckily, it's recorded.
Yeah, so I'll play it back. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll all get that laugh one more time.
Hey, guys.
Charlie thought it was hilarious, too.
Yeah, well, Charlie's destroying a bone and making a mockery of my couch blanket over here, so...
It's a good thing I got a new blanket.
Yeah, we got a lot of blankets because Charlie likes to eat these marrow bones and ruin our couch. Okay. So, anyway, Charlie the dog making an appearance on the pod, folks.
Well, that's gonna do it. The playoff implications we know.
Yep.
About that. Is it time to move on to that next match?
I think so. What we
Let's go into the Jakes Rosies, the average Jakes against the Mr. Dobbin Pavliks.
I love the team chaos. I love this the team false hope leading into team chaos 1.
I want to know if that 1 was a typo.
I hope it was, and I hope it stays.
It's a filler. It's like it's on that top line. It's like, no, you must submit something in this one.
Your name must contain a number
or a symbol.
Please enter 1 to 8 characters.
Team Chaos.
There's been some great names out of Mr. Pavlik this year, I gotta say. The win for Dobbins falling into the whatever the hell it was next, and then False Hope, baby, and then Chaos 1. There's been a lot of name game this year around the league.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's great.
Mixes it up.
I think I only changed mine once. Average Jake has been Average Jake all year.
I've been in Team America all year.
Yep. Staying in there.
I put my name on the line, but it hasn't changed.
Yeah, well, Butthole Records is classic, man. You gotta
is.
keep that one.
It is.
Vlads and Palers had to go. You guys
time.
weren't there in college. I named myself Vlad in college. Nobody liked it, but I was playing the heel.
At least I was consistent. That nobody liked it.
Nobody liked it, but it became a joke because nobody liked it, and I would continue to refer to myself as it. So the fact that it was so bad and unpopular became the funny. You know?
That horse was decomposed so bad that every time that you hit it again, like you had to pull the stick out of this like rotten corpse.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. You know, speaking of corpse, anyway.
Okay.
So we'll keep moving here.
Speaking of corpse, maybe just lets it sit like that.
Let's let that linger.
Speaking of corpse, moving on now.
Today's team.
Yeah, today's team. That's what I was gonna do, but I figured it might be too mean. Speaking of shells of former football teams,
right?
Let's talk about Chaos 1 here.
I want to go through. I'm gonna take the next week and go through and just come up with a list of 10 names of football players that made the starting lineup for Dave's team this year. And we're gonna have some fun with that next week.
It's been a who's who list of irrelevance.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ruin it by naming them all now, but Mike Boone's on there.
Oh no!
Yeah. There's been some winners. Let's say that. But Patty Mahomes, the biggest problem for Dave in the second half is Patty Mahomes has not been Patty Mahomes.
Oh.
Yeah, the puppy's gassing us out right now, but we hang strong around here. We hang strong around the Dundee cast. Guests may not hang in there, but the casters will stay strong.
Patrick Mahomes has scored more than 14 points one time since week 6.
Ew.
14 points.
You
can't start that.
You're not getting what you wanted, and that's why you don't draft quarterbacks in the first 2 rounds. Because that can happen to any of them.
Is the 6th ranked quarterback in fantasy this season, and he took him
in the second round.
He took him
23rd overall.
What? 11 rounds before the 6th quarterback was taken?
Not 11, but at least 5.
Yeah.
Because the 6th quarterback would probably have been like Brady. Somebody in there, Stafford.
It's like a quarterback around like the 10th or 12th quarterback taken, and it was like around 8.
So when you lose 5 rounds of draft capital there, think about who he lost out on.
His first 2 picks were Dobbins and
Dobbins
Mahomes,
was the 3rd round.
Dobbins was 3rd round.
Hill and Mahomes won too.
Yeah, he got Hill, and Hill and Mahomes, which
Hill's not on his team anymore. And then Mahomes is doing what Mahomes is doing, and I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Dobbins played this year.
Yeah, I think Dobbins didn't even
There was some breaking
make it
news
to the
somewhere
season.
in August that he wasn't actually going to be playing football.
Oh, so that was before the draft.
Yeah, believe it or not,
It was,
actually, they
it was
actually
all
came
over
out,
TV, in fact.
It was.
Yeah.
A lot of like those tickers that give you up-to-date information were
Just
saying,
constant,
hey, just in case you have your fantasy football draft coming up this weekend, perhaps this Sunday as people want to do, don't fucking take J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, and then
as someone who might want to do some research, they would probably come across that.
And then Erica, being the saint of a woman that she is, was about to warn him during the draft, and I hushed that up.
I
real
remember
quick.
seeing you reach and go, "Don't you fucking dare!"
I was sitting across from Trish, who was drunk and trying to tell Dave that J.K. Dobbins was injured. And I kicked her on the table. I kicked Trish in the shins as hard as I thought I could get away with. And I said, you shut the fuck up.
You gotta let him do it.
You gotta let this man be his own man.
Yep, exactly.
Make his own mistakes. So we
in the
can
third round.
listen to him make excuses about it for the rest of the year.
But to be fair for him, you know what? He won 5 games, and to be honest with you, he shouldn't have won any.
Yeah. Enter the Patrick argument, though. Like, there's some things that are just going to go your
That's
way.
true. So random luck will come your way. And that's why Patrick is got a bye.
You know, sometimes we draft players that are consistent, and you know, we always
word of the day.
Consistency. Can we say that is Patrick's what do you call it?
It's
word
not.
to live by in
It's
fantasy
not.
football.
It's not.
We like our consistent
It's
players.
not. You're not getting away with that here.
Hey, well, I'm going to get away with it. You want to know why? Because I get the first round bye. I'm going to get away with it again because at the end of the year you're going to have to call me champ.
No,
you might not like it. But
You're gonna.
Nice. I'm loving the soundboard action. That's fantastic.
It's good because it's directed at you.
Well, I'm inviting it, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
It's fun for me.
It's a good time.
Kenny Drake got hurt, so that makes Josh Jacobs look nice. Kenny Drake's probably broke his ankle.
Nothing makes Josh Jacobs look nice.
Well, passing work will make him look a little nicer. He's probably going to get that.
He's not going to have Kenny Drake taking those 4 points a week away from him.
4 points a week on top of like a solid 7.
That's a better floor.
Exactly.
If we're talking running back floors, that's kind of an okay place to be.
Yeah.
You can't get 7 from your starting running back, but if you can get fucking 12.
It's like the same argument I was making about Gibson being more valuable,
Yeah.
but less so. Because, you know,
I get it.
not as good a team right now. The Raiders are kind of imploding. Mike Boone, don't know what he was doing in the starting lineup anywhere. But I guess there could be an argument made that Denver runs a committee and Melvin Gordon was out, so you thought Mike Boone was going to get some carries, which he did. But it was the Javonte show.
I would like to take this time to congratulate Dave on at least starting actual running backs at the running back position.
Yeah. Fantastic. You know, it took 13 weeks to get there.
And they combined for 6.2.
Yeah. His star player was a Jet.
No kidding.
That's when you know you're scraping the bottom of the barrel when a Jets wide receiver is your star player.
Yeah.
Your
That's when you know you're sucking.
Or a Jet and your defense.
And your defense is playing Houston.
Yeah. Rough.
Sorry, Dave. I feel for you.
Rough. Just the way your mother likes it, Trebek.
Suck it, Trebek.
Those are 2 people that are dead now. Alex Trebek and Sean Connery.
We like Alex.
Man, that's an old SNL skit now.
That's a callback to Cancer Week.
Yeah, it is. I like that.
Anyway.
Hashtag callback to Cancer
And the Bills lose to the fucking Patriots.
Did they? Oh, really?
They did.
Yeah, they
That
don't
was
have
4th and
timeouts.
14. That was it.
How many times in the red zone did they blow it? 2 or 3 at least.
Yeah, they blew it about every time.
Yeah, 2. That's 2 in a row.
Yeah.
You got to get a field goal on the first one.
Well, they just went wide right from 18 yards out.
Yeah.
The wind, man, makes his
Oh,
games.
what is he doing, Beasley? Look at Beasley on this road.
That ball sails forever.
That was the wrong choice anyway, though. The other dude on the crosser was open for a touchdown.
Yeah,
I think it was Manny Sanders, actually.
Man, I'm so tired of seeing that nasty fucking...
That's Belichick's son.
God,
Special teams guy.
I thought you were going to say he's special needs guy.
Yeah. He looks a little special needs, doesn't he? Yeah. But, anyway.
Thank you. Did we
Anyway.
get a soundboard?
That fucking soundboard in there?
I was like, hey guy, hit that button.
Anyway. No, they could get the ball back here, actually. They could get it back with like 30 seconds.
I hope they do.
Yeah, they'll have to get another touchdown when they've gotten 1 through 3.5.
Well, you saw that ball he hit
Beasley.
Beasley.
Just hit the guy.
It's possible.
Look at this right here. Beasley, crosser, cuts across, wide open right there.
I don't know that he was wide open.
But he had him, though.
He did. Josh Allen's got to make that one.
Yeah. Anyway, Terry McLaurin did nothing for Dave. Pat Fryermuth, the Muth was not Luth, as the ballers say.
Don't make me do it again.
I don't want to hear it.
Come on. Let it rip. Nice. Anyway, the average Jake, the not-so-average Jakes, shall we say.
Not average, playoff Jakes.
Playoff Jakes. Yeah, we got to change that name, Jake. Come on, man.
He's feeling it.
No, man.
So,
momentum.
I guess.
It's a momentum
Yes,
thing.
you got to keep the name.
You're in the
for
playoffs
luck.
with that
You
name.
can't
Why would
jinx
you change it
yourself.
now?
That's true enough. Anyhow, Heineke, we were talking how much we love watching Heineke play because that man just leaves it on the field. He plays with the most emotion of any quarterback in the league I've seen this year.
He does.
I'm excited to watch some Washington-Dallas games just because I think
he's going to go for it.
Diggs, yeah.
He plays like a quarterback.
Yeah, he will. He absolutely will.
He plays like a quarterback that knows that any game is a really good chance that it could be his last.
He probably ain't starting quarterback next year.
Probably
Unless
not.
if they win out and go on a playoff run, he might be.
But that's his only. That's his only.
That's the only way.
That's a tough.
You know what I
Oh,
read
they won
today?
4 in a row.
I read Patrick Mahomes is basically Matt Ryan now.
Yep.
Ooh.
Lately,
Oh.
Yeah.
his last 4 games, he has not topped. The footballers are talking about him. He's like the quarterback 16, 13, 14, and like 12.
Ooh.
The last 4 games.
Oh, Matt Ryan Mahomes.
That's rough.
Jeez.
Matty Mahomes.
How does it feel, Chiefs fans?
Something's broken in Kansas City. Let's say that.
Well, hey, at least they only paid him $1 billion to be there for a decade.
Yeah,
They got a
right.
Super Bowl out of it already.
Yeah.
So like,
That's why we don't take 10-year contracts.
Ever.
Yeah, come on. What are we
It's
doing?
the NFL. They're gladiators. They can die.
What happens if his leg falls off and you're on a
we say
10-year
this,
contract?
though. Look
Fuck.
how amazing that guy was. Like next level, revolutionary. It could just be a down year. You can't be invincible every
No,
year.
he sucks. I said it. Quote me.
Kansas City's gonna waste him like Green Bay did with Aaron Rodgers.
I think Andy Reid's a better coach than anything Green Bay's ever had.
What, you mean the best team in the NFC right now?
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
not gonna win the Super Bowl.
They're not the best. Well, they beat Cardinals, so
here's the deal.
technically you could
They
say
are
they
gonna
are.
go. They are gonna go to the NFC Championship game. We all know that.
Yep, and then they're going to lose to Tom Brady because of poor coaching, just like last year.
Probably accurate.
Anyway,
I hate that it's gonna be that.
they lost to him because of poor. They lost to him because 2 things: poor game plan and Kevin King. And we fucking hate Kevin King around here.
All right,
Anyhow, Lenny Fournette, reception touchdown, saved his day with the receiving yards. He only had 44 on the ground. Jamar Chase, you know what? We're feeling better about shipping Jamar Chase out lately because I got all his good games. And
Kelsey,
Jake is
shit.
getting some of his weak games right now. Jamar Chase should have had another 11 points, though. Did you see that play where he had one in the breadbasket? Okay, hits him in the hands. He doesn't secure it. Starts looking down the field, bounces out of his hands, turns around, tries to catch it. The trailing cornerback grabs the ball off of his hand with one arm, intercepts it.
Oh no!
Would have been an 11-point touch, like 50-yard touchdown.
Damn.
So that would have been a better week if he would have caught that one. Michael Pittman, you like to see 11 points in a game where they're blowing a team out because normally he doesn't get involved when JT's taking all the work.
Yeah.
The 2 Eagles players on Jake's roster. My goodness, Dallas Goedert. He did almost all of that in the first quarter.
He's Mr. Strozzi's going to be pulling that Jalen Hurts goes on the IR because Mr. Minshew apparently loves his tight ends.
No kid.
He was targeting him like
It's
crazy.
crazy what happens to Philly pass catchers when they have a quarterback throwing the ball.
A backup one.
You did admit that Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback,
No,
though.
did I say he's a good running back?
He is a
Good running back.
But
Yeah.
occasionally throws the ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good runner at the occasion throws the ball. That's what he
He's a
said.
damn good runner.
Got a good
He is,
compliment
yeah.
out of you.
Yeah.
He's a big man who can run a football.
Somebody let
It's
Dave
fast.
go in his running back spot. He'll be all right.
Yeah, I seen Tim Tebow do it well too. You can't throw
That's
to
true.
the whatever side he's like. Tim could throw on the left side of the field. Couldn't throw anywhere on the right. Jalen Hurts could throw on the right side of the field about 12 yards. Can't throw
Yeah.
anywhere on the left.
Jalen Hurts every so often can get 6 passes to Devonta Smith to make him relevant. That's about all he can do.
Sounds about accurate.
But to be fair to Mr. Hurts, they should have won that game last week. Jalen Reagor dropped 2 touchdowns. The loss in the game. That was not Hurts' fault last week. Oh, they lost it. They ran the clock out on him, huh?
There's gonna be 1 second, so they're just gonna snap it again.
You say it's not Jalen Hurts' fault, but I watched a replay of that game, and
he hit him in the hands going into the end zone.
That's fair, but the guy threw 4 receptions.
Yeah, that's
could have thrown 12. There was like 8 balls in the hands of defenders that got dropped and hit the turf. He could have thrown 12 interceptions, and I'm not exaggerating.
Well, Lamar's been throwing interceptions too, though, and I don't see anybody complaining that Lamar's not like a franchise killer quarterback. You know what I mean?
That's
a rough comparison. Huh?
I don't like that.
Don't do that. That is not apples to apples.
So it's not. But you know, I'm just throwing
I understand you doing a devil's advocate thing here, but you don't believe it.
I know what I'm doing.
You don't believe
it. What do you say?
You what?
Nice. Did we wrap that one? You want to go to the next one?
Well,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I guess we can talk about playoff bracket stuff after all this. I just kind of want dip down into a guy who's gonna be in the playoffs against the non-Dalvin Allens.
He's got a tough team. And Mr. Dalvin's team is
I think that's gonna be an upset in the playoffs as far as seeding is concerned.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's an upset in the truest sense, but where their seed is concerned, it's probably gonna push him over to Alan Taylor and give me that matchup against Patrick that I want so bad.
Here's the problem, okay? With that, here's the problem for Strozzi next week. Green Bay has got Chicago at home. Devontae about to torch that secondary.
Okay.
As long as it's not a heavy weather game, which it very easily could be in Green Bay this time of year. Devontae, I think, is going to light him up.
You think so?
Their secondary is horrendous. You just see what I mean, he only threw for 123 yards, granted. But, I mean, Chicago's secondary is rough.
They're not good.
They're very bad.
Everything about Chicago is rough. There's a reason you named your team what you did.
Yeah, so, exactly. Right? I mean,
if we're projecting playoff performances here, look at Jake Strozzi's last 5 weeks. He's averaging about 95 points. You look at Allen's, the broken Dalvin's, and he's averaging about 82. So it looks like it might go Strozzi's way.
It looks okay. So looking at the news for Dalvin Cook, they're playing on Thursday, which next week, it says uphill battle. And the matchup is against the Steelers. The Steelers got a decent run defense. Granted, Dalvin Cook you play Dalvin Cook against. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Dalvin Cook's playing. You play.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook. Exactly. But if he can't get Dalvin Cook back for that game, he's got Josh Jacobs and David Montgomery, and David Montgomery is going to be playing the Packers. Okay, and you would assume that the Bears are going to be behind in that game. So that's not a great game script for Mr. Montgomery. So I would say, looking at the way the matchups are going, at least for the running backs, that's going to favor Strozzi. But we'll see,
No, I agree with you.
Do you want to talk about your and broken Dalvin matchup?
We can. There's not a whole lot to say, to be honest with you. He put up a good enough performance to win. My team did what they've done about half the weeks this year, which is put up kind of a dud. So a couple people that put up double-digit points. I'm not getting anybody that's putting up 30 or 40, which is the whole reason I traded for Tyreek Hill for the potential of that may be happening. I don't have an explosive team. You can beat me with 85 points, and that's what happened.
Well, I'm going to be putting out a seminar in the offseason this year. It's called How to Win with 75 Points. And if you want to enroll in that, I'd be more than happy to take you on as my first student.
You can sign me up because that is a skill set that I would like to learn.
Is it just going to be you talking for 10 minutes about how the gods smile at you?
Well,
that's been your only
you have to build. First thing is you have to build an altar, and then you have to draft a first round stud wide receiver the year before.
How many sacrifices did you make?
Hey, remember when I was talking about courses earlier? We don't want to get into that on the air. You know what I mean? So,
Well,
anyway.
I mean, I brought it up, so maybe I do.
I don't think it's built for the public. You know what I'm saying? A little dark arts going
Sorry,
on.
Mom.
Killed a few goats, couple sheep. You know, the regular.
We're gonna get demonetized on YouTube if you keep this up. Could you stop it?
Oh yeah, for our 10 cents per view we get for the 18 views.
Listen,
Losing big money over here. Hey, that might buy you a soda pop in the 1990s.
Sody pop.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've had people listen to this and tell me that you have an old man's voice, and then you say shit like sody pop.
Well, I get my old man voice from my dad, and my dad was here this last weekend, and he asked me at one point, "You got any pop in the fridge?"
Oh, jeez.
That's Midwest as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird, man.
Hey, we love my dad around here. That's right. Anyway, he's good.
Just because
Good
you
man.
say it.
That's a good man right
'cause
there.
you say it.
Showed me how to fix the plumbing under my sink for like an hour and a half. It was really helpful.
That is really helpful.
Anyway,
Shout out. Thanks, Dad.
that's
Thanks,
right.
Dad.
Chris Meyer, solid man right there.
Does he listen to the podcast, too? Is it
Probably
just-
not, but my mom will tell
There you go.
him. Anyway, so what else we got to say about your matchup here? You got Cordero, did a solid performance. You got some solid running backs there. Finally got a game out of Lockett. He had a good game.
Yeah, okay game.
He got a lot of targets. The yards weren't there. There was a couple big plays that they just missed on there. They could have been better.
What has happened to Seattle?
What's happened to Seattle is they're losing their franchise quarterback because he about to leave.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Yeah, he's got to go.
The rumor that I just heard, New York Giants. They're not going to the Jets because they just drafted Wilson, right? They got to see what he's doing for at least 2 years.
Russell Wilson isn't going to the Jets because he's smart.
Think
Why
about
would
it,
you
though.
leave a team that's not performing well to go to the Jets?
Think about it. The Giants, okay? I heard this argument from another fantasy football analyst.
I would hate
The
that.
Giants have several first-round draft picks, okay? There's no generational talent quarterbacks coming out of college this year.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Spencer Rattler, but Spencer Rattler got benched for a freshman in Oklahoma, right? You have the quarterback out of Ole Miss, and you have one in North Carolina, but they're not. It's not like this last year where you got Mac Jones, all these other guys. So what a lot of people.
Shout out to Brent Venables getting the new head coaching job in Oklahoma. South 11.
There you go.
So got a Cougar gonna get an NCAA championship ring. It's gonna feel nice.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel nice.
I think Brian Kelly going to LSU is dangerous.
That's true.
Tell you what.
Venables already got some Clemson defensive coordinator rings, so
Yeah.
it'd be cool to see if we can do it as a head coach.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so moving on down through here, that game between Denver and Kansas was kind of ugly. A lot of running in that game, not a lot of passing.
Patrick Mahomes gone 2 consecutive weeks without throwing a touchdown.
Yeah. Hunter, speaking of male pattern baldness, Hunter Renfrow himself, 9 targets, 100 yards. You like to see that.
The guy's had a good run since he's been on my team. He's been doing all right.
He's like a souped-up Cole Beasley. That's what
He's
he
like a
is.
souped up Cole Beasley, and David Carr's just flinging it, man.
I mean, he plays with heart, too. The guy
Flying.
hustles.
Better fling it because they got nothing else.
Yeah. They're a fun team. Hey, they're a fun team to watch right now when they're not beating my Cowboys.
A lot of people lost money on Foster Moreau this week in DFS. He was the free square, and he didn't do shit.
Todd started 2 tight ends.
That works when you're playing a GPP on DraftKings, but it doesn't work so well in daily fantasy or in season-long fantasy. I mean, Logan Thomas for you, Jake, is out for the year. ACL, MCL tear, gone for the year, unfortunately.
It's fine. He's been in my lineup exactly 0 weeks.
Yeah, so you didn't lose much there, but he's gone. For Broken Dalvin, Lamar has not really been performing, but you know why you love Lamar is that even when he's playing like shit, he gets you 15 points because he runs the ball.
Yeah.
And David Montgomery, actually, shockingly, in a loss, had a hell of a week.
Montgomery's
20 points.
good.
He's a good running back on a shit team with a shit offensive line, and he still gets it done.
That's
So
true.
imagine what happens if he had a good offensive line. He'd be really good.
Get the low center of gravity, just bounces off of people.
He's very. I'm trying to think. He's got some similarity like Javonte Williams. Very similar running backs. Big, thick, short, stocky guys.
Yep.
Hard to bring down. Big, powerful, churning legs. But anyway, so Rex Burkhead doesn't belong in anybody's lineup, but he gets carries. He does get carries down there. He's like the one because they got rid of Philip Lindsay and Mark Ingram, so it's Rex Burkhead and David Johnson down there now.
He's the running back 72 on the season.
Yeah, so that's not the guy you want to have in your lineup. You know, Mike Williams had 90 yards in the first quarter, and then he had exactly 20 after that.
Oof.
So could have been a bigger week, but wasn't.
Yeah, he had to get one catch, so it was like a 60-yard bomb, didn't he?
Yeah. Keenan Allen, I think, had 2 touchdowns. So
He did.
That's where it went.
I got doubled up Herbert and Allen this week, and in the first quarter, they paired up, and I got a little nervous. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, Herbert, they put it on the fucking Bengals. And that was a big game for playoff seeding, actually, because they were back-to-back in the rankings in the AFC. So it was a big win.
I remember seeing that game previewed sometime earlier in the week, and I was excited to watch a Chargers-Bengals game. I'm like, I'm excited to watch those two quarterbacks. I'm excited to watch those two teams.
Yep.
This is just going to be good football. And then I watched a quarter of it, and Cincinnati looked like, you know how like they can just randomly roll those Cincinnati dice, and they just come out looking like the Bungles?
Yep.
And they just fucking did. There was a point in the second quarter where it's like, oh, okay, well now we're going to get back into this game. And then one touchdown LA, and it right back into
Well, yeah, they were down like 2 or 3 points with the ball moving it, and they had that fumble. They got returned like 60 yards for a touchdown, and then a 3-and-out, and then another touchdown after that. They were this close, and then it just blew open the other direction.
Yeah. The interesting thing I heard about that game was that was going to be a battle of game scripts because the Bengals love to play slow and rely on Joe Mixon, and the Chargers love to play fast pace, up a lot of plays, a lot of passes, get out of the huddle. Yes.
Yeah.
I think
and they won.
Joe Mixon had like 10 yards halfway through the second quarter,
and that was the narrative in DFS. Like if you were betting on that game, there was 2 different ways to bet it. One way to bet it was play Joe Mixon and then come back with the Chargers passing options and Herbert. And then the other way was to go Burrow, pass catchers, and with Eckler on the other side. And that was the one that turned out to be the one. It actually won me $70.
Nice.
But anyway, Kenny G continues to be irrelevant. We said it already. Mike Glennon. You're not going to get anything done with Mike Glennon.
No.
Zach Ertz, when the Cardinals are just trouncing a team, Zach Ertz is not needed. That's what happened in that game. He's going to be good, though. He's capable of 2 touchdowns any given week, just like Goddard is. It's just got to be the right game script for him.
He's good only because the tight end pool is so dismal this year. Like, his last 6 weeks, he had that one performance against Seattle where he put up 21 points, and then it's 4.2, 2.7, 4.6, 1.0.
Yeah.
So, like...
You know what the problem is with that, though, that game, too, is it was with Mr. McCoy.
Yep.
It was with the real McCoy, not Mr. Murray, as we say. Gym Teacher Murray, as we call him.
Added reason why he's not that good.
Well, there's just so many options there, you know. And
Jordan
Murray
Nelson.
has the connection with the other guys, not with him necessarily.
Mac Jones threw 3 passes in this game.
It's incredible. 46 rushes for the Patriots in this Monday night game. That's insane. But you know what? It worked.
Got the W.
Corey Davis out for the season there. We're seeing on the ticker on the bottom. That's going to look good for Elijah Moore even more.
Now that we're sitting on Allen Dalvin's, looking at his wide receivers, he got Devontae Adams coming back next week. But if Mike Williams doesn't pull out or put out, he doesn't have a number 2 receiver. He's got Kenny Galladay. He's got Jarvis Landry. He's got Corey Davis. He's got Sterling Shepard. Good names. None of them are producing.
To me, he has the team that could either, like we were saying, very mercurial team, very hot and cold, could put up 120, could put up 60 any given week. It just depends on who. Depends on what Mike Williams shows up. Really,
he needs Dalvin Cook in his lineup to have a big week like that.
I don't think Dalvin Cook's playing.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to have 120.
And he needs it next week because the average Jakes is right in that 95 to 105 range.
Every week.
Real average.
Well, the advantage that Strozzi has is that, he's going to have Rodgers back. Rodgers, as he said earlier this year, owns Chicago.
That's going to be the storyline of the matchup next week because Allen's going to have Devontae and Jake's going to have Aaron Rodgers.
So that actually plays into Allen's hands because if Rodgers is throwing touchdowns, he gets 6 and Strozy gets 4.
So that could go either way because if he's throwing to anybody else, another one of those ones, Rodgers can make other receivers come out of nowhere. Well, you see these games like Lazard goes off for 100 yards and a touchdown. Not saying that it will because Devontae is clearly the best receiver on that team, if not in the whole league. But Rodgers could put up 3 touchdowns and have none of them go to Devontae.
It's possible, but
he could run for 2 of them.
His other favorite target, Randall Cobb, is out, I believe. Maybe for the year, I heard, perhaps. He's definitely, I thought he was injured. But he's got MVS, who he likes as well, down the field. You know, he's always a big play threat. It's really going to come down, that right there, Rodgers and Devontae, is going to come down to weather. Like I said, what is the weather like in Green Bay this weekend? But what I like about Strozy's team, and then we should move on because I know we're going long here. But what I like about Strozy's team is that just the amount of volume that his players get. Najee, Lenny, Jamar Chase, Pittman, all those guys are getting touches every week, no matter what. Kelsey, you know.
And one of them's going to go off for probably 30 points. Fournette one week, it's Goddard the next, somebody every week.
Yep, absolutely.
Occasionally he'll get 17 from a kicker.
Right.
Yeah. Should we touch on Cody's matchup?
Yeah, we've got 2 matchups left to get.
Yeah. Let's hustle through them here.
Cody, what do you got?
What we got, man?
I got a win for my George Kittle pick.
Surprising.
I got a win from my Kittle pick. I earned 1 whole W because of George Kittle, so that feels nice.
He looked like George Kittle.
I can't believe that was the first time he's ever gotten 2 touchdowns in one game.
Because he looks so impressive when he's doing it.
That tiptoe down the sideline touchdown. Good Lord, the balance for how big he is.
He's video game like style to watch.
Yeah, it's like that Madden where you get your guy on the sideline and you toe tap down the sideline for 30 yards. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he does the fun stuff.
Yep.
He really does.
He smashed them.
Doesn't show up on fantasy, but the guy just does everything.
Yeah, that's the problem with him, right? That's what everybody in fantasy analysts have been talking about this year is that they're so committed to the run, and he's such
a good blocker that he's got to be part of that.
Yeah, exactly. Dog's hiding his bone in the couch here. But anyway, you got the game out of Taysom because even though Taysom threw 4 interceptions and
against the defense that I started.
Which is fantastic for you.
It worked out.
Yeah.
I took a chance there, and it worked out very nice.
Yeah, that's such a weird play for him to get all those yards running, throw all those interceptions, give the defense a touchdown, and still come through. You almost never see that.
No, he had 101 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Half of the points came from that rushing line.
It's true, and like the way that he was able to run the ball, it was spread him out, and like there were so many instances where they would get behind, like 2nd and 12, 3rd and 18. And so then he would run safely for 8-9 yards, and that would be the end of the play. I'm like, there's another point.
Yep.
There's another point.
Yep.
Like it just kept going so well.
Well, because Dallas was like, we'll let you run the ball.
Because you're not gonna throw the ball.
And when you have to throw the ball, it ain't gonna be pretty.
Yeah. And that's the way it shook out.
Yep.
So like that was Thursday. So I went into the matchup feeling pretty good, and then I got Herbert and Allen twice in that first half. It might have been the first quarter.
Yeah.
That they loaded up. I'm like, that could get real nervous. And so I just had some average stuff until I look at the end of that Seattle-San Francisco game, and George Kittle did the thing to put it away. And Cooper Kupp, even though nobody apparently fucking wanted him, because I put a lot of trades out there for some running backs, I was going to take some like RB2s, guys. I gave you some value there.
Give me an example here. Who you were offering him for?
Oh, I would have to look that up. I don't have that fresh. I don't have that fresh.
I was interested in
I'll write him down because I'm offended.
For an RB2 for Cooper Kupp,
yeah,
you would have offered me Cooper Kupp for one of my RB2s, man. I would have given it to you all day, dude.
Yeah, I didn't want to see that in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know you don't. That's why I didn't offer it to me.
But yeah, I mean, they bring in Hopkins for his 3 plays a game, and he gets a touchdown because he's good enough to do it.
Yep.
So yeah, I'll have Henderson back next week. so I'll at least, I don't know, have somewhat of an RB floor. I've got a chance against Bailey next week because of my squad, but it's gonna take another guy in the flex, and I just don't know. It's probably Gaskin, just because it's points. It's not gonna be crazy, but it's points.
I really thought Gaskin was gonna do more for you this week because I bet on him a little bit again in DFS. Sorry.
Game script, I felt real good about that.
They were playing Mike Glennon.
Yep.
I thought they were gonna smash him, and it was gonna be Gaskin with a bunch of carries, and it just didn't turn out that way.
It just didn't. It seems odd. I didn't watch the game, so I can't speak from a point of knowledge. But I mean, how many? He had 15 carries.
Yeah.
He had 15 carries.
He had it. He's just not a very good runner.
He's not.
He's too small.
Which is not what you want for your running back.
No. He's a better.
It's not ideal.
He's a better he's like a less athletic.
You know what would have been better? Derrick Henry. I would have liked to have him there.
Marginal.
I think there's an argument to be made that Derrick Henry is slightly better than Myles Gaskin. Yeah, good lord.
I mean, I'd have to run the numbers, but my gut tells me you're right.
You know what, Buffalo? Hey, build a dome, you stupid fucks. You would have won tonight.
God, they love.
What are you doing?
Shit. Yeah, they go and get one of the best young quarterbacks, and they're like, we're gonna play outdoors in northern New York.
Hey, you know what? Let's build our team to be a passing team, and then let's have at least 4 or 5 games towards the end of the year where we're not going to be able to throw the ball, and we have one of the worst running games in the league.
What's the
going to
weather
work
like
out.
in Buffalo around playoff time?
Yeah, that's going to work out great.
Well, if the Josh Allen years don't put a dome over Buffalo, nothing ever will.
Yeah, if they can't win a Super Bowl with this team that they have together, with the defense and the talent that they have on that team.
And Sean McDermott.
Yeah, they're not. What the fuck was that?
That was Buffalo's running game.
That was ridiculous. That one got credited to Josh Allen, by the way. That fumble.
Jeez.
Because he was the last player that had control of it.
Fuck.
Anyhow.
Any other comments on this matchup before we go on to the last one?
Well, let's go through Todd's team a little bit. You said Herbert had a good game. Like we said, was slinging the ball around 303.
The Martin family is just allergic to running backs, apparently.
Yeah. Well, Todd lost Kamara.
Yeah.
That's his big dog, right?
Todd has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 running backs on that roster. And I believe, if I can do some quick math, they all combined for less than 5. Less than 5 points.
And,
wow.
But so Trish is the one that's allergic to running backs, really, because Todd lost Alvin Kamara, Michael Carter right when he was coming on, and he picked up Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson was getting involved, and then Jeff Wilson got hurt.
Well, on the wide receiver front, the Calvin Ridley incident, too. A lot of bad luck for Todd.
Good Lord. Yeah, that's what I was saying, is there's an award for not having good luck. I think it's got to go Todd's way.
Yeah, I remember looking at his team after the draft again. He had a solid lineup.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be tough, but, it just doesn't go your way sometimes.
That's where the cookie crumbles.
And that's the way it was. Anyway, should we go into the last matchup here?
Yes,
Who we
should.
got? We got Bailey and Ernest goes to space. I gotta say,
champion.
I've been enjoying the Ernest goes to. I've been enjoying the references.
No, that has been good.
It's been fun.
I like an Ernest P. Worrell reference.
Yeah.
My childhood wonder flicks out a little bit there.
It's fantastic. Brent, even with the Brent had the wrong Buccaneers wide receiver. That's the problem. He had he had the one that didn't get the 15 points. He didn't have the tight end. He didn't get the Mike Evans 3 touchdown, 150-yard week that you would have wanted when they're playing Atlanta and Brady's throwing 4 touchdowns.
It's true. I mean, he gets his, but it's a carousel.
Yep.
I would like it to be known that Tony Pollard was involved in a Cooper Kupp trade during that window. I'm not saying it was straight up 1-1, but it was those two and then some other slough just to make me sleep at night about that trade.
Tony Pollard just dying on Brandt's bench.
Dying.
Yeah, I know.
Season. Putting up production here and there, good handcuffs. So I get why you want to, because the value of Zeke goes out. You've got an elite running back.
You know what would have been better for Brandt this year? If he would have started Tony Pollard every single time that he started Saquon Barkley instead.
Yeah.
That's a real stat.
Let me see here. Tony Pollard is the running back 24. Saquon Barkley is the running back 44.
44.
How crazy is that? Granted, Saquon missed a lot of games.
Yeah.
But even the games that he's played, What the fuck's he done?
He actually, his best yards per carry game was actually this week. He was 11 for 55. It was 10 for 55. So he had 5.5 yards to carry, which is respectable.
Saquon Barkley's season high for yardage is 57 yards.
You're running behind one of the worst offensive lines in the league, and you have nothing
with
in the
no
passing
quarterback.
game. Yeah.
Like they couldn't. They didn't field a healthy wide receiver for like 6 weeks.
Saquon Barkley is washed.
I disagree. I don't think he's washed. I think he's not what he was because of the injuries.
Where's he going in the draft next year? How about that?
Where's he going in the draft next year?
Yeah.
I think 3rd or 4th round, probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think somebody in our league takes him in the second.
And
I don't know after this year, man. I think you'd have to be real bold to take him over some of the guys available in the 2nd round. Like Gibson.
In the offseason. You need a good preseason showing too.
Like, are you gonna take Saquon over Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
Because that's the range we're talking about.
I don't know.
Are you gonna take Saquon over David Montgomery?
Probably not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not over Montgomery.
How about Saquon over James Conner?
No.
Yeah.
I'm not taking Barkley over James Conner.
That's the range where we're at
Yeah, it
right
is.
now with him.
Wow.
Yeah, So
Dave will get him in the 1st round then, right?
yeah.
Only if he tears his ACL.
Well, yeah.
I get shit on, Dave.
Only if both of his legs fall off, and he never plays again. Will Dave draft?
I want that paraplegic on my team.
And he's got 2 more. It happens in like July.
Oh yeah, 3 months before the draft even. Oh god.
Oh shit. He gets in a car accident, gets both of his legs chopped off, and Dave's drafting him 3 months after the fact.
Picturing Dave like reading the news report and just seeing like out for the season, will not play, just this big smile on his face.
He's like, "That's the
That's
one."
my guy. That's my guy.
Well, you know how John Jones. You guys know about John Jones? How John Jones would like just do a bunch of blow and party and stuff before his fights, and part of the reason people think he did it so that he would have a reason to like. If he lost, like, he could say like why he lost because he didn't train properly or whatever. I feel like Dave drafts these guys so he has an excuse why he didn't make the championship.
Well, that way, no matter what his team does, he can say, "Hey man, look what I did." Despite.
He's like, I just if I would have made the right picks, like look, I won 5 games even though I made a bonehead pick in the draft. We're being real hard on Dave. We love you, Dave.
He doesn't listen to this fucking thing.
That's true.
I mean, how could you? If you even dare listen to this?
He's a glutton for punishment. You know that.
Dave, get on the pod. We need them views, son. Matter of fact, listen to it twice. Come on. Do something useful, you Chicago fuck.
How about you take some fucking notes, Dave? How about you listen to what we say and, like, I don't know, let it inspire you to, like, play fantasy football better. I'm aggressively looking at the mic when I say this.
He's acting like you're right there in that mic. He's getting in your face.
It's the same vibes. I think why we lost Steve.
Yeah. He's dogging you. He's dogging you right now.
I mean, we like to keep it a young league. So, I like to go after some of the old goats every once in a while.
It's true. Dave's hitting the cutoffs here.
Watch out, Todd and Trish. We're coming for you.
Hey, we need Dave because them hot dogs are damn good.
Every league needs a taco.
Every league needs a taco.
Every league needs a taco. Or a hot dog.
Or a hot dog.
Is a hot dog a taco?
No.
It's a good question.
Interesting, isn't it?
It's kind of.
It's not a good question. There's two completely different things.
Hey, let me tell you something. If you put a corn tortilla around a Frankfurter,
then you
create a hybrid that has brought 2 very different things a little closer.
Is it a taco or is it a hot dog?
It's neither.
I don't know. They just already made it's a taco.
It's a hot taco.
Hot taco. Nice. I like it.
I like hot taco. I like hot taco.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hot like it. Anyway.
It's not bad.
We rip so much stuff off from the footballers on this show, but anyway, we're fans. At least
you're a fan. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, listen to that shit, you son of a bitch. It's a good show. Anyway.
Do they teach you how to get wins with fantasy phantom defenses?
They teach you how to appreciate the fantasy
Because I'll
guys
watch it if it
should.
gets me an average of 60 points against my squad every week.
Hey, some people know how to play defense, and some people will just put up 100 and still lose. And you know what? Guess what column I'm in, baby. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, You guys just keep throwing it out there for me, you know. Anyway, go down, Brand stinker from James Robinson. You're going against the Rams defense with even James Robinson can't overcome how terrible Jacksonville is.
I don't know. Maybe we should have started Tony Pollard.
Probably would have been a better move, or even Ramondre. I would have even played Ramondre because at least New England's a respectable running team. But it is what it is. Got a decent game out of Mr. Conklin at tight end. 7 targets for 56. You like that? T. Higgins been coming on strong lately for Brent.
Real strong.
He's been resurrected.
This week.
He had a bunch last week too. Actually, I think.
Last week he had a killer game.
Yeah, he did. 100 yards and a touchdown in 2 consecutive games.
Yep.
Playing San Fran next week. No reason he can't do it again.
Nope. Yeah, after what the freaking flailing Seahawk offense just did to San Francisco, hung 30 on them.
Yep.
28 technically because they didn't get that safety. But Bailey's team here comes out with the win by just 13 points. Matt Stafford was a big part of that, throwing 303 basically. You got Eckler in there for Eckler's line would have looked a lot better without them 2 fumbles, but you like 12 points. James Conner just continues to get it done.
James Conner is a mythical creature.
Impressive.
At this point.
Yeah.
We call him the touchdown nest monster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just in that
no
swamp.
No one's ever called him that, but I
he's
like what
just
we do
in
now.
that swamp. He pokes his head up out of the swamp and he snaps up a touchdown. Snatches that ball.
He does. He does.
Yeah, that's right. Comes out of that swamp on a bye week and he rips off Chase Edmonds' leg so he can be alone. He's a real monster, that kid.
We've said this stat for a few weeks in a row now, but I like bringing it up. He was drafted in the 8th round and he's the running back 5.
Yep.
That's how you win fantasy football.
Well, and Austin Eckler is the running back too. So she's got 2 and 5 on her squad going to the playoffs.
And she's got Aaron Jones coming back.
And she drafted both of them. Like, she's not needing to make trades. She's getting playoff potential based off what she did day 1.
Yeah.
Yep. I still think the downfall is going to be if she gets into the playoffs and she gets a down week out of the boys, it's going to be a wrap.
Well, next week it's good. I'm lining up against her, and it's going to be against Washington.
Washington playing well.
Washington playing well. Is their defense playing well?
Yeah, they are.
All right,
They've been playing well.
Yeah, I think it was like
It's a weird thing for me as a Cowboys fan to hope for. Just hoping that Dalton Schultz is getting all the love. Tony Pollard on swing passes.
You hope it's a running game.
I do.
And they beat the
I hope they run the ball
team.
42 fucking times, and I don't care who gets it.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, T.J. Hockenson 2 weeks in a row with a touchdown. That's added some value back.
Life again. He yo-yoed a bit this season. Hot to start the season, like tight end 3. He was ahead of some of the big name ones, and then fell off for a good while.
It's true. In these last 2 weeks, he's got 2 touchdowns, and it's not coming on a target share. In fact, he's getting less balls thrown his way and just happen to do more with it in the end zone. So I don't know if you're seeing that again. I don't see you're seeing that in Denver.
If Detroit goes out, gets a better quarterback, drafts another lineman, and a talented rookie wide receiver that can demand some defensive attention and targets, Hockenson will be a lot better next year.
Yeah,
that's a lot of things that they got to do.
It's true.
But they'll have a lot of
if they
draft
just couple all that with like relocating to Portland, Oregon, I think they'll be in a better spot.
I'd love to see him in Portland. That'd be great. I'd go to games.
Yeah.
Watch the Packers come out and trounce the Portland Lions. That'd be great. Talk
Lions.
shit to all the wacky Portlanders. Awful. Fantastic. Well, they probably call it something stupid and woke, like the
stupid and woke.
Like they call them
because those two are synonymous with each other.
They'll call them like the Portland, like I don't know, like what do you call them?
No, this is on you.
Okay.
No,
call them the Portland Pigeons. How about that?
Really?
Yeah.
Because
they're shitty.
They're shitty.
They allow turds all over their city. It works. The Portland Pigeons. Come on. Let's go.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, see?
I like the alliteration.
It's got some tread.
It does.
Some tread on the stars. All right, anyway.
And moving on. Bailey is going to get Aaron Jones back next week, right?
Yeah, but A.J. Dillon's cutting into that workload pretty heavy these days.
Well, does she throw him in probably over Eckler or Connor? No. So is she going to put him in the flex?
It's either him or Ayuk in the flex. Kind of depends on Debo.
Has she started CD and Amari both every week? Is there been a week where she decided, Nah, they aren't both gonna hit. Let's bench one.
I mean,
unless they're hurt. Unless one's hurt.
Yeah. When they miss time, she's benched them, and she's put them both on there every other time.
Yep. I don't know why David Johnson's still on the roster, but whatever. You do
Again,
you play.
no transactions. Bailey's in a bit of autopilot this season.
And yet she's still in the playoffs every year.
So it's hard to talk smack on it.
Yep.
It's true. She's always in the playoffs.
Every
She's
year.
always in the playoffs.
Literally 3 years in a row.
It's a bummer that she's going to get knocked out in that first round.
Yeah, I mean, she can get there, but does she go anywhere? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
Traditionally speaking, no.
well, last year she made it to the second round.
Ah.
She did get that third place money.
I forgot that we're celebrating
I'm
the second
looking at
round.
the playoff bracket, the winners bracket, and I'm thinking that the average Jake's got a pretty good chance. I'm thinking that Alan Taylor's got a pretty good chance. I'm thinking the other four of y'all are good luck.
We would love for Mr. Dalvin to upset Strozzi and to pull into that matchup against Mr. Broken Dalvin. That'd be fun. That'd be great. But you want to know what would be bad about that is that Dalvin Cook would probably be back in week 15.
Yeah, I don't want that because I want the matchup against you so bad. Because Allen is a lot scarier than you.
I don't know why you would want that business.
Because
with
this
Justin
Phantom
Jefferson
defense
all
does
alone.
not come through in the playoffs.
I mean,
Angels
Justin
don't play in the
Jefferson
playoffs.
alone will end you, sir. Kyler Murray and Justin Jefferson are going to put up 60 points
Who
off
does,
playoff
who
one.
does Justin Jefferson have in Week 15? What's that matchup?
Let's look that up.
Let's look that up right now.
Week 15, Justin Jefferson, probably the pack. He's got at Chicago. That's nice. But you want to know what the problem is? He's playing the Rams in Week 16.
We're hoping for some fucked up weather Week 15 in Chicago is what we're hoping for. Is that game in prime time by chance? Because that would help me.
Yeah, that would help you a lot. I can't see that on this, but there's some good matchups. I game planned for this a little bit and made some trades.
Fuck up.
Man.
You didn't know.
I absolutely did. I absolutely did.
Jesus.
You want to know how? Want to know how I game planned it? Guess who Kyler Murray's playing and why I traded for him in Week 15.
You traded for Kyler Murray because he's the best quarterback to have in fantasy football.
And Allen was desperate to get him the fuck off of his roster for like 6 weeks.
Guess who he's playing in Week 15?
I don't want to guess. Just tell me.
Detroit Lions.
Hey, they just got in the win column, man. They are the hottest team in the league.
They're gonna except they're gonna give up 40 points to Kyler Murray. It's gonna be fantastic.
They probably are.
Yeah. But anyway, should we wrap this? What else we got to say? You want to go over the matchups?
Yeah, let's go over the matchups.
Oh my God, it is in prime time.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, Kirk Cousins is gonna lay an egg against Chicago in prime time on a Monday night.
How great is it gonna be?
You're gonna lose because of that.
How great is it gonna be? Where the first time ever in his career, he just puts up like 4 touchdowns,
Did you just
400
predict
yards.
Kirk Cousins being good in primetime TV?
Hey, he
To
was
be
good.
fair, he shit the bed this week against Detroit, and Justin Jefferson had his best game of the season.
Exactly, so it doesn't matter. They target the shit ever since the offensive coordinator came out and said we cannot afford to not get him 10 targets a game.
All right, well
That's right before he went on that 4-game tear.
All right, well.
But I will say, the one game out of those 4 that he played that he didn't have a great week and 150 yards was because Kirk Cousins in the fourth quarter missed him 3 times on wide open deep shots. So it is possible for Cousins to fuck it up.
Yeah, I would hate to see him do that in prime time. I would hate that.
He had one good primetime game, remember? And that's when he shouted in the camera, "You like that?"
It's true. We gave Kirk Cousins one chance to speak on national TV, and he gave
said,
us gold.
Yeah.
He gave
You
us
like
gold.
that? Yeah.
So,
it worked out, you know?
Never again.
So for a
Never again.
repeat, you know?
So who do you think is going to win next week? You're biased in your matchup, but do you think do you think Cody's going to win, Pat, or do you think Jay's going to pull out?
I have to be honest with you, it's hard for me to say without looking at who the players are playing, what the matchups
We're not
are.
going to put balls to the fire next week based off your prediction, but if you had to pick one.
Yeah. Well, if I had to pick one, I would say it's more likely that Bailey wins because I think Cody's been on such a cold streak and he just finally pulled through by the skin of his teeth. He was at the point of
By the skin of my George Kittles.
He was at the point of at one point in the season running away with the league. And then in the second half of the season, if Erica would have won by enough and you would have lost, you would have been out.
Yeah.
That's how much
the
you
running
felt.
back 1 and the wide receiver 1 on his team.
You still got the wide receiver 1.
Yeah, but I mean, he had both.
Yeah.
And it was good
And
for
Russ
a minute.
was playing good at the beginning of the year.
It's true.
Yeah.
It was good for a minute, and things changed, and now we're in the mud.
Yep.
Now we're in the mud
You're
trying
in
to
the mud.
scrape by. I got Taysom Hill starting, y'all.
He's in the trenches.
I got Taysom Hill going. Let's boogie. I don't even have a quarterback. I have a running back quarterback.
But just like you showed this week, man, you could just luck out and win 3 in a row. Like anybody can win this thing, man.
I was able to put together 100.
I'm in the loser bracket.
Well, yeah, I mean, literally, not
when
anybody.
We say
Literally,
anybody. We mean like the top 6.
the teams that are in it. Not the losers that are sinking in the quicksand of the swamp.
That reminds me, Erica and Jake, you're not actually welcome to next week's podcast.
Yeah,
it's
don't.
Only for the playoffs.
Really? So no producer and no other producer.
Hey,
Yeah.
winner's circle only, guys. Winner's circle only. Yeah. So next week, guys, we'll do a podcast, but you won't be able to hear it because it won't record. So enjoy that, everyone.
Just know that it happened.
Yeah. Just know in your heart that it was good. All right, should we wrap this shit up? We're good? There's one more other matchup.
Let's talk about the playoff bracket. Let's talk about those 2 games. We got...
Strozzi, I think, takes the other matchup.
Yeah? I hope he does, because then that gives me when I beat Bailey. Oh, yeah. That's exactly how I want
I
that
want
to
to be
play.
there for that podcast episode.
Out of all the people that I want to play in the playoffs, I'd love to play you. I think you're the weakest link, to be honest with you.
Goodbye.
You know what? That's a decent argument, because I think I probably do have the
I don't think it's a decent argument. I think it's just a factual statement.
That's what I think. It's either you or Dalvin.
I think Dalvin then, because I already wrote him off. I
already
already wrote him off.
I don't think he makes it past the first round, but we'll see.
I don't either. I think Strozzi has the most consistent squad in here, and I think the second most consistent is the broken Dalvins, but that consistency level is about 12 points shy of Strozzi, and I think that matchup's just going to go that way.
You want to know what I really don't like, though, is that if I do end up making the championship, I really think that Allen probably has the best odds of making the championship on his side. Mm-hmm. If he makes the championship, I don't like the idea of playing Brady and of playing against Brady's pass catchers when they're playing for the bye. Because the Bucs are going to be in the mix for that bye in Week 16.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't like playing Brady.
You're hoping for a couple Bucs losses these next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that they're resting their guys and they already have the division locked up.
Mm-hmm.
They're not playing that hard. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Because Brady on a mission to win the next Super Bowl, and Gronk and Godwin out there.
They always look good late.
Absolutely, they do. We don't like that. So, and then Gibson coming on the way he is, and then who wants to play JT when the Colts are making a push?
I don't want to play JT at all. The
yeah,
guy puts up 30 points every week.
Insane, man. Allen's got the scariest team.
I think he does. I think he does.
100-point total and number 1 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the easiest call to make, I guess. Isn't it?
Well, it is, but
not exactly a bold call, but accurate.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just got to be factually correct, But
correct.
That's right. All right, well, and then in the losers bracket, I mean, I think Todd knocks off Trish, and Trish heads down the Sacco path.
Did you say Psycho or Sacco? Just to be clear.
Because
this league will break some people.
It will.
Well,
I've seen it. Shout out to Steve.
It's called the Psycho Sacco. Psycho.
That is hair turning.
Across the long line.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's still going.
Whoa. Remix.
But yeah, I mean, of that game, the loser of the next game for each of them the next week puts them right back in the Sacco again. So
yeah.
I mean, hell, do you hope you lose that first game so that you get the loser? Because then you get Dave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think
then you get Dave, and I think that's where you want to be. You don't want to be against because you get either Mr. Wilson or Team America.
You don't want to play Team America. I'll tell you.
You're almost better off kind of like laying a duck that first one if you're in that 12 seed. And then just
a little bit of loser strategy.
Yeah, and then play the worst option in the next week to guarantee you're not going to get last.
See, I wouldn't know much about the loser strategy, so I don't know about commenting.
Fuck off.
No, that's good. I'd be feeling pretty good if I was Brant right now based on like just where he's at because he's got Dave this week, and if he wins that, he's gold. And if he loses that, then he's got to beat the loser Todd and Trish. You know?
So, okay, so who's your guys' call for Sacco? Because, I mean,
I've been saying Trish for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah. I think it's Trish.
Hey, but do not sleep on Dave.
Do not sleep on Dave's ability to
lose some games.
Dave's got the lowest point total of the year, so he can't lose to anybody.
It's true. It's true. Statistically speaking, he's put up the worst showing of anyone in the league.
Well, when you start Kyle Juszczyk in your running back slot,
was not looking for good things there.
No. You know, like you said, some of the names that have been shown in that lineup this year do not belong in anybody's lineup except for like a 16 team keeper dynasty, whatever the hell.
Just making some stretches that would hurt a man of his age.
We'll do a bit on that next week.
Watch your attendance there, Pavlik. Oh man,
he's gonna go need a heating pad just anywhere he
just
sits.
Get some icy hot before you make them stretch calls next time.
Bengay even.
You know, Gold Bond. You know, tearing skin up.
At this point, isn't he? Like, he can
let's
smell
get
like
some
Bengay
tough
all
acting
day.
acting. You know, like
boom. Tough acting tonight.
Well, that one has a football connection.
Yeah,
at least you got that.
Boom.
Yeah, I used to love those commercials.
I still do.
Yeah, very entertaining.
Yeah, fantastic.
All right. Well, anything else?
I don't think so. The question is not will I win. The question is just how many years in a row will I repeat after winning this one.
You're gonna lose the first round.
Yeah, I won't lose in the first round.
Not in the first round of playoffs.
I don't have
to
play in the first round.
Yeah, you fucking backed into that fucking spot.
I don't think we backed in. I think we won our way to it 4 weeks in a row.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'm glad that you put up a good showing for the last week, but you're getting a first round bye with bottom 3-point performance.
That's not true. I bet I'm coming in at like points number 7 after this week. Okay. Probably.
Well, is that top 2? Just to be clear.
It's not top 2, but yes, we say, we've covered it many times, folks.
The gods.
They're on my side. Yeah. Until they're not. And then we'll hear a lot of,
We'll hear it.
Yeah, we'll hear a lot of sacrilege.
I'll be here.
And one of those awards I was talking about, I think we're going to have an award for the fantasy pagan. The one least favored by the gods. That'll be the most unluckiest award.
How are we going to bring religion into this?
We'll call him the fantasy pagan, Okay.
Is that pagan with an E?
Pagan with an A.
That's a new kind of punishment this year.
Pagan?
Fantasy pagan.
Oh, God.
The punishment?
My mom listens to this podcast, sir.
She's a Midwesterner. She doesn't know what that means.
She probably doesn't, actually. And we don't need to cover it. Save my mom's ears.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for next week's podcast where we cover pegging.
Brought to you by Krispy Kreme.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, good Lord. It's always fun to see this Northwestern fuck up every week, huh?
Holy.
Look at that guy's face where he's like, whoa. That was bad.
All right, boys, final notes.
Final notes. Welcome to the playoffs, everyone who's in it. They
suck at everyone. I'm the best.
Alan's the best.
Yeah, I guess.
You're number 2.
We're number 2.
There you go.
We're number 2.
No one likes it.
Hey, we worked hard this year to be number 2. We set our goals high. We came in second best. That's what we like to do.
I mean, to be fair, the top 2 people, the first 2 buys are probably the 2 people that put the most time in.
That's probably. I do put a lot of time into this.
Yeah, those 2 are
I love
fucking
fantasy
losers.
football.
Yeah, right. Get a hobby.
Jesus Christ. Good life, douchebag.
Besides fantasy football.
Growing weed and watching touchdown passes. That's what we do over here in my house.
I wanted you to make that rhyme. I really wanted you to make that rhyme.
Interesting that the 2 top seeds are also in the cannabis industry.
Here we go. Growing weed and watching my fantasy opponents bleed. That's what we do in the Meyer household.
Jesus. I hope you're proud, because you'd be the only one.
Hey, sometimes I'm a poet that didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Sometimes it's, a rhyme that's right on time.
You're the oldest man I know.
And I'm only 31.
Tell that to your male pattern baldness.
Hey! We earned this baldness, sir.
Nailed it. Hey, wait. This one's perfect for that.
Thank you.
Nice. Play the one you were going to play for going out. We love this. This might be the exiting song from now on, folks.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a week.
All right. Good luck.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No.
Hey.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
All right.
Then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. This shit, I'm out.